However, we're still talking about the same old systems, the same old protocols that we've been using
It's
since the 70s and
still built
80s.
on the same old bones. It just
It's the
looks real
same
good.
thing. So cloud computing, when cloud computing first was kind of ideated about by Google's CEO in 2006, or first named, I guess you can say, by Google's CEO in
Yeah, when they
2006.
first started calling the cloud, even though the
Right.
cloud
We were
had
all
been
like,
floating for decades.
right. We were all like, great. So servers, and they're like, no, 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 this is different. So they're server. Well, yeah, they're servers, but it's different because of the way the billing works. Okay. And now there
Marketing.
are software services and everything else that kind of go along with that. It has evolved, but it still is again, I think I've said this before. One of my favorite, I think it's like a meme where, there is no cloud, it's just somebody else's computer. Yes. And here's proof of that, like this, and this is proof that kind of happened on a worldwide scale. Now, the one
And your
question
bed is
though,
connected to someone else's computer. Think about that.
yeah,
Let it set in. Your bed, if you have an 8-pod sleep bed, is connected to someone else's computer that you don't control.
that's right. And the other part to this is that you kind of alluded to this in that it was only one geographic region of the cloud that apparently went down. However, this affected everybody worldwide. How does that happen? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're looking at, okay, first of all, is it? And, let's say that Amazon is doing all the right things. Yep, it most certainly was only one geographic location. However, there are so many dependencies now, right? And the US government has seen this coming. And during the Biden administration, there was an executive order released where if you were anywhere in the software supply chain for a government contract, you have to create what's called an SBOM, a software bill of materials, which lists all your dependencies and every piece of software that you're using to build your current software for the US military or the DoD or the Department of Treasury or whoever. And so then this comes in. Anybody who's ever done anything with Linux knows the term dependency hell. This was like dependency hell, but for the internet, where even if it was one library that your JavaScript or that your CSS had to pull, your website would take much longer to load because it wouldn't be able to load that, or it would load improperly, or it would load at all. And so, because we were using these old systems, because we are so reliant on each other as far as programming goes, right? So, programmatically speaking, we're reliant on these open source libraries, these closed source libraries, these other capabilities that are hosted elsewhere on the internet. Just loading a single web page, you're probably making 20 to 40 to 1,000 calls, right? To other sites.